welcome to the ubiquitous unboxing. Everyone does unboxing, so we thought we'd better do one, seeing that we've just received the first 10 unit into Australia, the first Z10. This is a demo box, but this is the real deal. This is going to be a bit fun, so I'm going to have to get Greta's help on this one. I'll just take this top off here. So let's give it a go, Gret. So we're going to have to lift this up straight up. It's pretty heavy.
3, 2, up. Cool. And now just down a little bit. There you go. Let me come out that way. You're right. Okay, let's keep going. All right, put that down here. Not bumping the...
And there we have it, guys. A Z10 officially unboxed. That was pretty straightforward. Like everything that is Z units, it's unboxed. So what are we getting here? So this is what's in there. This is your install and service manual. 2 of those. And your certificate of ownership and warranty. All right, there it is. We've taken the plastic off and have a look into that box of wonders. So you can see there's these red lifting lugs here, lifting points. So the unit's lifted up by the ball itself because it's obviously the heaviest component with the flywheel in it. That flywheel is a semi-vacuum, not full vacuum, it's semi-vacuum, it's helium filled. And the reason for that, obviously helium has a lower temperature point. So we can actually regas that if we need to. So we don't need to send that away to be done. There's a very simple little fitting there that allows us to do that, to actually create vacuum and to push the helium in. It's a bit hard with that reflection of the skylight there, so I'll come back around here. You'll notice that there's not only cooling for the unit as well, but there's also cooling for these systems here. The brain boxes and operating systems are cooled as well. So cooling is pretty important. You'll see that there's a header tank here. This is a coolant header tank. Now that's got a filler cap, but really you don't need to check that at all. It's got its own level sensor. So if there's an issue there, it will tell you, but maybe check it once every 6 months, once every year kind of thing, maybe every year. You'll see all that in the service manuals. On the side here is this do not step, obviously. That's the motor that is actually not a motor, but it's actually a magnetic torque converter. So this is all electromagnetic as opposed to hydraulic. The cooling is for the motor and for the brain box itself. Then we have water flow sensor. This is how simple it gets. We have an anode here. That anode gets swapped out every 6 months or inspected every 6 months. Now inside behind that is a heat exchanger. Now the heat exchanger itself is a swap outable unit. And you can see all these components are thread fitting. You can see even these pipes are all just hoses with hose clamps. So all of these components are modular. They can all be detached, plugged in. So look, worst case scenario, there's something wrong with the heat exchanger. We just unplug it, put a new one in. It's a series of bolts. That's it. And it comes out, plug a new one in, plug the sensors back into it, and away you go. So the beauty of this is it's really sort of user-friendly, and we can send components to it rather than, it having to come back to us. So there you go. So that's a Z10. That is going into a 48-foot flybridge boat. Now what comes with it also is the water pump. So that's the power supply and control cable for the water pump, for the water circulator. So you see water pump there and the control screen. That's it. That's basically it. 2 plugs coming out, one for the control screen, one for the water pump. The water pump is demand only and it's self-priming. So it'll only kick in when this is required. It's not just going to run constantly. And then you've got the power in here. Yep. These bigger units are AC. The smaller units from the 2 down to the 0.5. Just to put it in context, this is for a 48-foot or 50-foot or 52-foot boat, flybridge. But the Z05, Z0.5, is for, let's say, a 565 center console, something like that. So we can go vessels of as small as 2 tons up to vessels up to 1,000 tons. So here we go. And you can see even these components all back here, they're all modular. They can all be chopped and changed and swapped out and replaced. This one a little bit more challenging, but these ones here are all modular.
And what happens to this thing before it's shipped?
This unit here itself has been put on a bench, on a cradle bench, which rocks it around and simulates the ocean action. This unit has been basically sea trialed or bench tested under stress for 48 hours before we get it. Each unit, every unit, not just a sample of the units coming out of the factory, every unit is bench tested for 48 hours on a rocking bench. And it's not just the one frequency of rocking, it's the rolling motion, it goes through its whole range. These units of version 5 actually adjust themselves to the sea state. Yep. So they have a degree of complexity in them. It's all electric. So to install, you don't need to worry about your hydraulics because there's no hydraulics. You need a boat builder and an electrician. If you are installing on a boat that we haven't got the engineering precedent for, you can get the measurements, we can help you out with the engineering. But yes, if it's a new boat or it's an older vessel or a timber vessel or something, we may need to get the engineering done. So naval architect, boat builder and electrician, and it's all pretty much plug and play. So I've just got to get the bits and pieces out of the bottom here and I'll show you what that all looks like. Okay, I've just taken this little side panel off the side here and we're going to see what comes with the unit. This is a good thought. They've given you an extension bar for your socket set for when you tighten down the bolts that bolted into the actual boat. You have this nice little spacer, compression spacer. Yep. And then, which will take a bit of weight, these come with, they are the pre-drilled plates for glassing in to the boat if you want to glass into your stringers. I won't put those on top because they're quite heavy, as you can hear. This is your control cable, and how many meters they've given us? 14 meters. Fabulous. So 14 meters of control cable. Yep. What else have we got down here? So this little unit, if I can get this one out, but if you have a look around here, this here is a template. It's not actually a mounting bracket, it's just a bolting template. So when you put this in, these pieces in, glass them in, you'll see that they have the holes and all that sort of thing ready to go. Just here, 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah. This goes down so you can template everything, get it all exact, and you know, like those who know fiberglassing, if you're waxing the bolts in, yada yada yada, you can use these as the locators to wax everything in, and that's just supplied. So that's like a 2.5 mil piece of sheet metal that comes with it, and that's solely used to locate everything. And then you put these down and bolt it all down. So everything comes with it. Now I'm going to have a bit of, excuse me here guys, I'm just going to duck down, stick my head underneath, get nice and cozy with it. And then over in the back corner, yeah, of course it is, is the on the other side is the water pump, as I mentioned. So that can all go back. So not only was this unit tested for 48 hours on bench, but the water pump was run through it as well, because this would have been running at full capacity, so it would have needed water. So the water pump itself, when I first got a water pump from the factory, I'm like, there's a little bit of moisture in the wrapping. Of course, because everything's tested. So the unit with its pump is all tested for 48 hours before anything is sent out, which is awesome. So take the core flue off. So if I was taking this into a boat, like I was saying, we can actually unbolt this gimbal here, this here, the ball can come out, can go in. Ideally, we drop it in whole or spoleless, whole thing. That's great, but sometimes some installs, you've basically got to go the ball size dimension to get into a space. In there's a little cardboard box which is strapped in there. That's the control screen. Simple as it gets. Simplicity is good, but these are just, I find these to be user friendly. You can turn them on and off as you need. And they also have more sizes, a lot more sizes. So throughout Australia, we're there for you. We can give you guidance on how the install, what the recommendations are, what the requirements are. decipher the technical side of it. The other thing too is we have a great deal of technical support from the factory. They're very much not, here's a unit, best of luck. Like I said, they bench test these beautiful things for 48 hours, every unit before it leaves factory. They're not just bashed together and shipped out. They're put together and they're tested. We'll be there with you on this journey of balancing your boat. All right, so if you want something that just does what it says on the box and you want the support to go with it, that's what we're about. All right, happy boating. Bye for now.